But recently I've been talking with my boys and having this like discussion on why are all these rappers going silent? I mean, if you go from rappers like Cardi to Sofago to KanKan, for instance, all these rappers in the underground, like everyone's kind of gone silent. You feel me? And I've always been thinking like, yo, why are they so quiet? And a lot of people be like, oh, they're trying to be opium like Cardi. To be honest, that's partially it, but to be honest, I feel like once you become a rapper, right, and you get to a certain level of success, let's say someone like a Yeet or anything like that, your name is so big that I feel like they would just carry a lot of their business outside of rap. Business and funds wise. I feel like this isn't really talked about. Like, for instance, KanKan has his clothing line. Rappers don't talk about this all the time, probably because they don't really want it too closely associated with anything. Like, you'll see this in athletes, right? For instance, someone like Shaq, he doesn't play basketball anymore, but I'm pretty sure he's made more money than he ever did playing basketball in business. I feel like that's kind of more so what happens with a lot of these rappers, and they put more effort into these businesses, to these other things, and they end up pushing rap to the side. I mean, really think a rapper could go years and years without posting? Well, I mean, if certain artists can, right? But other artists, it's like, yeah, I guess they're getting their sleeping time money, right? So they don't really necessarily even need to post. But as an artist, I feel like they would still feel that drive you need, you know? Like, just because you're a professional athlete, that doesn't mean you stop playing even though you made millions and millions and millions. Because at the end of the day, you still love the sport. I feel like specifically rappers, you don't see that anymore. Majority of them, I don't think really fell off, per se. They're not like a Lil Pump or somebody who had to come back to get money afterwards, who spent their money wrong. I think it's more so literally that they found other things to do to make the money that they were already making without having to deal with underground fans or just rap fans in general. Also, I feel like a lot of this could come to simply the artists. Because a lot of these rappers nowadays are young when they blow up, anywhere from like 18 to younger than that, all the way up to like 24, 25. And by now, they're pretty much older now. Like, they're in their older 20s, mid to older 20s. I also feel like there's a lot of criticism for certain artists, like let's say a Trippie Redd, who'd either A, try to keep their music old or make new stuff, and they still get hated on. But at the same time, you have the Luckys and Cardis who are older now and still continue to make music that's very popular. Like, if you look at someone like a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar, like, they rarely ever drop. You hear nothing about them for like a few years. Like, and I think it's pretty interesting because a lot of people look at this and be like, oh yeah, people starve for their music, whatever, supply and demand. So whenever they do drop, some people are gonna listen to it because they listen to their craft. Well, I feel like at the same time though, for the amount of time that they wait to drop, these people also kind of disappear from the internet after a while, and we just hear nothing about them other than certain tweets or beefs that they randomly get into. And besides the people who are just getting locked up or like doing crimes, they're using their time elsewhere. They're doing other things that we don't know about, which is perfectly fine, which is completely in their right to do. And they can't just say they quit music, because then that's gonna create a whole nother rabbit hole. And fancy to think of that, and just remember that that could be a complete possibility. Just because someone doesn't drop doesn't mean that something necessarily is going on bad. They could just be doing other things. Artists can't get mad at fans when like they see their numbers go down or certain things aren't the same. Well, they're not putting as much effort. I'm not gonna like look into other people's lives or even try to look into that, because it could be some crazy stuff. They definitely have found a more profitable way to do something else, or else they would still be chasing after music or continue to chase after whatever they want to chase after. They could simply just be chilling in the fruits of their labor. But for the amount of time that they would be waiting to make anything out in the public, you don't make that much money off of streaming. I think this is a big misconception that a lot of people have, is streaming really doesn't make you all that much money. Yes, when you get to a significant number of streams, but for the lifestyle that a lot of these artists be portraying, you're not making that money unless you have like millions on millions or something like that. But even then, it's still like they're still gonna want their money at some point, so you can't just run away from a label. So like, as I'm saying, they gotta be doing something else to where, you know, they're making funds. Like, I remember in the Jace and Slump beef, Slump mentioned something like he was cooling. Hey, I could be tripping, but I thought he mentioned something about real estate or something like that. Like something that had to do with houses. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But he mentioned something to say like he was chilling. Which I feel like at that point, like when you that big and you got enough money, if you have good enough people around you, you're gonna find a way to make that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 that you made off of rap. You won't find a way to spend that elsewhere. Because if you think about the shelf life of an artist, it's not that long. So if these artists are smart, they're using their money in there instead of trying to necessarily fight the shelf life, which eventually, like, you know, everyone eventually has to fall off at some point. Like, come on, they just find something else to do. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna say the normal YouTube stuff, you feel me? Like, comment, subscribe, try and grow this channel real quick. Yeah, but let me know what y'all think. This is just something I've been thinking about. Yeah, peace.